might be doing a cast of my hand next. I gotta think if there's anything else I need to do first. I'm looking forward to this for a long time. Gotta get some caulk out and my acrylics so I can mix up a skin tone. I'm gonna go over my hand with the skin toned caulk and then peel it off, try to assemble it in several pieces, and then I'll be able to use that as a guide for my bones. So I gotta get the parts I need. Hey, what are you making? I'm making a robotic, I'm making a glove for my hand out of silicone mixed with pigment to create the realistic skin of the robotic hand for my robot project. So I've already mixed my pigment here, and I'm just going to mix the silicone with the pigment and apply it on my hand. I'm kind of winging it. I've never done this before. I've done a lot of research, but there's still a lot of unknowns for me. I'm not like the authority on this. Just make sure it's not your fat hand and you'll be fine. Oh man. I hate that this says that silicone won't stick to silicone, because I'm going to want to put layers of this later. I don't know if that's... I don't know what to think about that. It's scary. That's a very realistic looking robot. I'm a robot making a robot. Didn't you know that? I'm trying to visualize how much I'll need to cover my whole hand, at least the top. I don't know if I should cover both sides. Maybe I should. I'm supposed to use Vaseline, but I'm just going to use chapstick on my hair, because I don't have Vaseline right on hand. Chapstick should work, right guys? I have like 3 minutes before this silicone starts to cure fast, so I gotta hurry. Probably can't talk a lot right now. How much do I mix in? Oh gosh, it looks terrible. It's not really mixing nicely. Well, it does kind of look like flocking, though. Actually, it's not horrible. Yeah, that's not horrible. This tape isn't working, though. Oh my goodness. Double paint. Yeah, well, maybe. I just put this down to reduce the amount of air getting to it while I mix. Gosh, this thing's driving me nuts. I just hope silicone does stick to silicone, because I mean the idea is to put like 15 layers of very thin translucent paint over this. This is just a base coat. You know, your vein layers, your blood layers, all that stuff. And I know certain silicones do stick to other silicones. I hope this one, the back said silicone doesn't stick to silicone, but I'm hoping that's not true. Because I know people paint silicone all the time. In fact, I've got silicone specific paints on hand. Alright, I'm ready to go for it. Goodness, it doesn't want to stick to that chapstick at all. It's just sliding around my hand right now. Is the silicone out of date? No. Oh, maybe. It just really doesn't want to stick to that chapstick I put on the hair of my hand. Might be a fail, guys, but like I don't like how thick it's going on. I did buy some silicone thinner on eBay yesterday. I may need something like that. sticks magnificently to these gloves, though. My goodness. What kind of gloves are these? Latex? I switched my plan midway through. What a mess I'm making. Kind of like the color. Yeah, this plan is failing miserably. I'm just kind of observing and thinking, you know, for the next go at it. I'm paying attention to how quickly it's drying, how tacky it is, the thickness. Trying to envision how much thinner I'm going to add when I thin it down. It's very chunky, and I think that when I add thinner to the silicone, that will solve the chunkiness aspect. Just looks like vomit. Are you going to be doing sections of your hand? Because if you do the entire hand, how will you get it off your hand? I just thought I'd pull it off kind of like a glove. How long are you going to keep that substance on your hand? Well, it's just silicone with acrylic, so I'm not really concerned about keeping it on too long. It will cure pretty soon, and then it's just rubber, really. This does not look pretty on Twitch channel list page. Probably looks like throw up. Yeah, that's because the silicone's too chunky. I definitely need to get that silicone thinner. I'm really happy with this color, though. I think this color is going to be pretty good. Did it work? Did your hand survive? You know, I feel no discomfort on my skin at all. I'm happy with the color. It's starting to get really tacky and sticky now. I'd say this was a successful first go at, you know, this testing process. I learned a lot. And I've still got the color. I don't want that to dry out. I'll have to cover that up. But, yeah, this has good potential, I think. I'm clearly going to need a lot more silicone. You're going to need a lot more barf. Oh man, well I know how to make barf, fake barf now. And I think I like the idea of putting these gloves over my skin and then putting the silicone onto the gloves. I think that's kind of a good way to do it. I want to try something real quick with these alcohol wipes. I read that alcohol kind of softens it and can be used to make, like, to smooth it. Oh, look at that. That's useful. That is very useful to know. Look at that. Looks a lot less like barf then. A lot more like skin. I'm onto something. In fact, I'm not convinced I need thinners now, because this smooths it out, it spreads it. What I'd want to do, I think, is just do very tiny, like, congrats, you got smooth barf. Exactly, smooth barf. Smooth barf equals human skin. I think this is going to work, so I should just do like a very tiny section, like half an inch squared at a time. This actually looks really good now. Like right in here. I have some depth control and everything. I think I need more alcohol wipe. Now I'm using an alcohol baby wipe to smooth it out, and I'm hoping to salvage this. Like, rather than just calling it quits, I might work from here. Like, I might use this as my first layer of skin and just then continue to smooth it out, fill all the missing gaps, and maybe go from there. Like, I don't like to think that it's all or nothing. You either nail it with one pass or not. Like, I should be able to add, remove, manipulate whatever skin I'm using. What's nice about having it on the glove is I should be able to pull this off my hand really easily. I'm hoping that through many subsequent passes I can build up some realistic skin. And obviously the realism comes from the painting later on, and I've got special paints for that. As you can see, like, I'm really spread out all over the hand. What I should have done is just focus on a tiny area and then just build little by little from there. I definitely see potential with this. I definitely want to save this color. I'm going to put it in a glass jar. You guys notice I used like one tiny little scoop to do all of that. So this color is going to last a long time. What I'm doing is I'm making realistic skin casted directly from my hand by mixing silicone caulk with skin colored acrylic paint. I got the acrylic paint mixed up and kept in this jar to keep it from drying out. You just mix a tiny bit in with your caulk, clear silicone caulk, normal caulk from the hardware store, and then I'm just gonna, like, the reason it's all over is because I made a big mess. I initially had it on this hand, and I just like rubbed it all onto this glove because I thought the glove would be actually a better place to form the foundation of the skin, so the inside layer will be the glove. And as you can see right here, this is my second pass. I'm gonna focus on small areas. So rather than just throwing this away and starting over, I decided, you know what, I can build onto this throw-up-y texture and just build my skin out from it rather than giving up. Like, it's okay that it looks bad. It's working. Like, this is just the beginning, guys. I'm gonna build the entire skin of the entire robot like this. I've proven, this is proof of concept that this method will work. It's incredibly cheap. I just use basic acrylics and silicone caulk from a tube, and it's working. I'll be able to smooth this and add in texture. I'll be able to add in wrinkles and texture passes in layers. I'll be able to add the blood layer underneath. A lot of the equilibrium, like the balance and stuff, I'm envisioning the code will do actually like keyframe animation of his movement in real time based upon the input of all the sensors and stuff, so that he can manage to walk and shift his weight and react to changing conditions, and, you know, plan out each step, plan out where to fall if he's falling, stuff like that in real time. And that's going to be so fun, all that coding. How much money you like to set in this project? Well, as little as possible. I mean, I'm always looking to save money. whenever I do anything, really. I had a ballpark estimate, like maybe $20,000 to $30,000 at the end of the day, but prices are always going down for servos and stuff, so it's really hard to say in the long run when it's all said and done how much I'll end up spending. But that was kind of my initial ballpark, like 15 to 20,000. Is it possible to remove the latex hand glove without destroying the silicone? Oh, absolutely. I already switched hands once. The silicone, I got some silicone stuck on the hood of my car, and I grabbed it with the pliers to try to remove it. I pulled it 2 feet, oh, maybe not 2 feet, like a foot, and it wouldn't snap. So that gives you some idea of the amount that silicone, once fully cured, can stretch. It's super flexible and it's incredibly strong. Its elasticity is unbelievable. So, wow. I just convinced myself while saying that silicone should be used for ligaments for my robot. I mean, it's so flexible. It's so long lasting. It's so strong. I think I'll use silicone for my ligaments. I gotta think about this. I mean, my original plan for the ligaments were to make them out of spandex, but silicone might last longer. Or maybe I can coat the spandex with silicone. That might work. Yeah, silicone coated spandex might be the best way to do it. The way I describe silicone is stubborn. It's strong, never dries out. It can be tugged on and it doesn't rip. Like even a rubber band or a pencil eraser, those types of rubber dry out. But I've never heard of or seen silicone ever dry out. It just stays exactly how it is when it cures indefinitely. Nothing sticks to it, nothing messes it up. It's waterproof. So it's a very awesome material. I don't think it ever decays. Oh! It was actually important. So this side is pretty loose right here, and I was thinking of like cutting it and taping it and folding it over to bring them closer, but then I realized like this finished glove can be resized slightly just by like when I cut the seam I can change the size and bring it together, so it doesn't have to be like very tight to my skin. I mean, if it's tighter that's probably better, but it's not the end of the world if it's a little loose. I can adjust it and tailor it to make it smaller later. Do you know what paint to use? Yeah, I do. I'm gonna be using special effects paint that's used for like movies and stuff. This girl let me borrow her kit. a friend of my girlfriend is a makeup artist, and she's done like special effects masks and stuff, and she's worked with rubber, and that's a special expensive rubber paint. But even acrylics will work too. Just you mix them, you mix the silicone with the acrylics, and then you thin that using a silicone thinner, which I have ordered already. And then you just put thin coats of translucent paint right onto it. So there are multiple ways of painting it. Obviously I'm going to need to smooth it out a lot, and then add realistic texture and fingernails, and you know, there's a lot of work to be done, but this is just kind of a rough start to get things going, just to pull, you know, a reasonably thickness skin with roughly my proportions to get me started. It's kind of loose, but when I pull it taut, that should smooth it out. Plus, I was told that acetone will break down the silicone.